Hello, Blake here with Referral Rock, and today we're going to be talking about how we can make it easy to run a successful referral program that's tightly integrated with your existing HubSpot workflows. In this video series, we'll cover the core aspects of running a referral program within your HubSpot. That starts with tracking referral visits and conversions so you can see how well your referral marketing efforts are doing. Then, using your referral data that you're collecting to better segment and nurture those new leads. You want to talk to your referrals a little bit differently than your normal marketing leads. And then automating your reward fulfillment so that when deals complete, you're not doing any manual processes and wasting a ton of time and manually administering rewards, and all happens auto magically. And lastly, how to get more sharings from the membership base in your referral program, how to trigger them to share within your HubSpot marketing campaigns and such, and then access the data from within HubSpot. Hello, Blake here with Referral Rock. Today we're going to be setting up the referrals to HubSpot contacts integration. This is helpful for adding attribution data to your referrals inside a HubSpot. That way you can do things like reporting to measure the value of your referrals compared to other contacts. You can set up workflows for lead nurturing, and you can also segment your contacts to see which ones are referrals. So let's hop into it. I'm going to set up this program. I have a test one I've created, this program right here. And then I'm going to be using my test account, which I'm going to connect to with the Connect New HubSpot account. It's going to open another window. You select which account you want. So just choose account and then give it access. Then your dropdown should update to include that account. Hit save. There's going to be a few settings in here for you to choose from. I'm going to walk through them one by one. So this top one is for what it says when a referral matches an existing contact. This one is here because sometimes people use their own forms on their website. Sometimes people use our landing page builder. And when you do that, it's this denied status is why we've separated these two into these 60-minute time periods. And so to dive in, this first one is when a contact was created less than 60 minutes ago, you can dictate what happens to the referrals in Referral Rock and the contact in HubSpot. So the first option is going to deny the referral. You would do this if for some reason you had new contacts in your HubSpot that were there and had previously purchased, and then a repeat purchase came in within that same 60-minute window, and you didn't want the member to get credit. In that context, you would use this first one. That's pretty uncommon for people to do. It's there for rare edge cases. Almost all clients use the second option. And so for newly created contacts and new referrals, always going to add the referral data to the contacts property group. And the second one, this one is more configurable based on your business use case. And so this is for older contacts. And so if there's a contact that was created more than 60 minutes ago, when that new referral comes in, we look at the timestamp of the contact and compare the two. And so if it's more than 60 minutes from the referral create date, you can choose what happens. And so if they were an existing customer in your system, they've already done a deal, it's been closed, and you want to automatically deny that referral in Referral Rock, that way the member doesn't get anything, you'd use this first option. And so that's like if you want to prevent rewards from being issued for existing contacts that are already customers of yours, you'd use this option. This one's probably more popular, is adding the referral data to contact properties. Maybe you can sell to the same contact more than once in your business, and you want to know if for a subsequent deal, if they are now a referral lead instead of and have attribution data in it from a member, or you can decide to do nothing. Those are the three options you choose from there. Just to recap, this is the most popular. Almost everyone uses this here for newly created contacts. And please let us know if you have any questions around this section. The next one is to enrich the contact with member data. And so if we come to our documentation, you'll see that we had a variety of properties to your HubSpot contact when they're a referral. And some of them are member specific. So any of these with the member name in them, you can choose to add or not add. These referral source notes, referral extern ID, and referral ID are always added unless you choose from these top ones, do not update status or properties. This enrich contact with member data will add those member properties, and most clients do that as well. The last two are if you're using custom fields, and so if you have, or if you're using our landing page builder and on our form, there's custom fields on there. probably want to map those over as well. If you're not using our landing page builder, you probably don't need this. Same goes for member fields. If your members are registering manually um, on our registration page, you probably might want to map those over. Or if you have other use cases with your custom member fields and you want them to be associated with the contact in HubSpot, then you can do that here. And so that's about it. Let's jump into seeing how this works in practice. So I'm going to do this as a denied one right there and keep everything else like that. You're going to hit save. You're going to get a confirm page right here. And so this little toggle will turn it on or off. I'm going to click save. After you save, it's going to show up in the table down here. Last update is going to show as not NA because I haven't sent any referrals over yet. So the easiest way to test this is to come to your referrals, click add referral. Or you could use, if you have your form set up already that you're doing your form conversion on, you could use that as well. Remember, I set this up for that first one. You have to find a referring member. And so you type in a name. I'm just going to use this one. And then I'm going to type in a fictitious name here. And add that. And so shortly after this, I should get a processed event that comes through. So if I go back to my HubSpot integration over here, you'll see last update now shows 1.3, 354. And if I come into my HubSpot, we now see in a moment that that has come over. Sometimes it takes a second. All right, here we go. John Lewis has now appeared. Took about 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes for that to show up. And so give it 5 minutes or so, and then it'll show up. And then we come in here. What we're going to see is a few things. And so we're going to go view all properties. We add our properties as a contact group to make them easier to find and sort through. And so in here, we're going to see all of that information. Some of these are going to be blank since my member that I used didn't have this data in there. And you can see source. Also, sometimes our clients have questions around some standard properties of HubSpot. So web analytics history. So HubSpot has some native properties that we will also fill out. And so you'll see integration in those. You'll see Referral Rock as the source. And so if you use those for any reason, I like to bring those up. But the ones that you'll mostly use and the one that we intend for you to use are these ones. And these are the ones that you can use to filter contacts by, set up workflows, all those sorts of things. So that's the integration in a nutshell. Hello, this is Blake Boss with Referral Rock, and today we're going to be learning how to nurture our new leads in HubSpot. And so we're working with the HubSpot referral to contacts integration. We're going to set up a workflow to help nurture those new referrals that just signed up for your product or a demo or purchase something and make sure they're having a good experience and to try to help with conversion. And so here we are in HubSpot. If you're not aware, HubSpot has a really cool tool called Workflows, and it works great with our referrals to contact integration. So let's jump into it and set this up. So I'm going to create a new workflow in here. I'm going to do a blank workflow right here, but they do have a lot of templates you can use that would work as well. And click next. And the first step is to set up a trigger. And the trigger we're going to do is we want to know when a new contact is created, did they come from a referral? And the way we know that is we're going to look at our contact properties and we're going to look at referral and we're going to look at Referral Rock member URL. That's always going to be with a contact if they come from a referral when you're using our referrals to contacts integration. And we're going to put is known. Okay, save that. And so we have our trigger set up. That's going to tell us when a new contact comes in or a property is added with a member URL. And so the next trigger we're going to do is we're going to want to add a little time delay here. And so for a set amount of time, probably don't want to talk to these people right away. They maybe got some other marketing emails or onboarding emails right after they sign up. So I'm going to add a little delay there. And then next I'm going to send them an email. So we're going to go to our external communication. I'm going to send them an email. I have this one created already. And so if we look at this real quick, this is pretty nifty. So as you can see, I just did a plain text email, but I use some of our properties that we get with this integration to help personalize it. And so we have the member's first name that referred them right here in the email, the plain text email, to make it very personal and letting them know that they have a success manager assigned to them since they came in through a referral. Also, subject line, you can put who referred them in the subject line to help with open rates. And so those are a few things you can do with this integration as well. And so we have the email going out. And next, we're going to want to create a task, right? We want to make sure these people are being followed up with. And so I'm going to come down here. I'm going to create a task. And we're just going to call this follow up with referral. And I'm not going to fill out this other stuff. That's up to you. And we're going to assign that to the contact's existing owner. And that way, whoever owns this contact has a clear signal that, hey, one of your contacts, one of your leads is a referral source, and you might want to tailor your communication to them as such. And so that's how you can create workflows in HubSpot using this particular integration to nurture those leads as they come in and make sure that everybody's following up and converting on these really valuable leads from highly qualified sources. Hello, this is Blake with Referral Rock. Today we're going to be learning how to segment our contacts based on if they were a referral or not. And so I only have 3 contacts here. Hopefully you have a lot more than that. And I want to see which ones are a referral. And so to do that, you do your more filters option. You search for referral, and we want to use Referral Rock member URL. This is always going to be populated if they come in through a referral. And we're just going to say is known. And as we see here, Bob Ludlow is a referral. And so you could do that for all of yours, create saved views and use those to do all sorts of things in HubSpot. And so that's an excellent way to use our integration to figure out where your referrals are at and then do workflows based on that, set up email communications based on that, assign them certain owners, anything you can think of. Hello, this is Blake with Referral Rock, and today we're going to be setting up the HubSpot members to contacts integration. Step one, let's go to the HubSpot integration page. There's 2 ways you can get there. The settings menu right here, integrations, and then it's down at the bottom left. Also, if you're working in your program, I'll show you how to get to it from there. You can open up your program that you're working on and go to the promote page right here. And then your program has to be active to set up the HubSpot integration. And it's down here at the bottom under synchronize data and integrate. So let's get in there. All right. So here we are. We have our HubSpot integration options. And so if this is your first time, you'll get a slightly different screen that has you connect your account for the first time. This one, I want to do these HubSpot tutorials account. Connect that one. Connect app. I am not a robot. I promise. And so here we are. I'm connected to the right one, HubSpot tutorials. I click next. Okay, first settings screen. So these are all the properties we're going to add to a contact in your HubSpot. Whenever they have changes or they become a member, we'll send over updates for these. You can look through those at your leisure. And you have one setting here. You have allow and prohibit. Allow is the one that most people are going to use. Prohibit, you would use that if for some reason, let's say you had ungated member registration and you're couldn't really control who joined your program, and so you didn't want to send over a bunch of contacts into your HubSpot they hadn't vetted and that sort of thing. In that case, you would select prohibited, and you'd want to make sure that you had some type of integration set up to feed members into your Referral Rock account. And so if you do need to do prohibited, please reach out to our support team or your CSM if you have one, and we can help you figure out how to set up that integration to make sure all your HubSpot customers are coming into Referral Rock so they can become members, and make sure you have that member registration funnel set up correctly. But for the most part, most of our clients will use allow contact creation. And so what will happen there is that whenever a contact member changes or is created, we're going to check your HubSpot to see if they exist. If they don't, we'll go ahead and create them. And so, last step, we come in here. This is going to give you a little review of all the settings that you've set up. And so you can see the account, the property group that all the properties are going to be shown under. And I'll show you that here in a second in HubSpot. And so then what I'm going to do in here is I'm going to test it. There's 2 ways to test. You can test in an enabled state or disabled. I'm going to start with disabled. If it's disabled, when I click save, it's going to pop up here in this table. And so as I can see, it says I have 2 members that have not been synced, and I can manually click this to sync it. And so when I do that, It's going to kick this off right here. And then it could take a little second. I'll refresh the page, and as we can see, two of two members have been synced. I come into my HubSpot, bam, there they are. And let's see where it added all those properties. So we come into our view all properties. And look at this new contact property group. And now I know everything about this member is in here, all their stats. And so it added them because they didn't already exist in the HubSpot based on that setting that was set up right here to add contacts, allow contact creation. And you can change that at any time. Next, I'm going to enable this. And so after I enable it, what it's going to do is it's anytime there's a change in any of our members, once added, something changes about a member, maybe they had a share, they shared a link, or they got a referral to sign up, then it's going to update. And so as an example, let's go in here to this contact. Right now, they have, let's look at their pending referrals, 9 pending referrals. This member is crushing it. And so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to find that member. I believe this one was Blake Boss. We're going to come in here, and as a test, you can do this for testing. You can come here and you can make a change to one of your test members, a member you're just playing around with. Easy way to do it is just add a referral for them, and just make up a name, any name you want. Um, there we go. Bucks. When I do this, click add referral. Since I've enabled that integration now, it's going to be checking all the time for updates. And so I come back over here. Last update was at 423. I'm going to refresh this. 425. So it did something. Let's go back over here. Remember, what was it before? It was 9 pending referrals. I come back in. I might have to wait a little bit. If I go to 10, let's come back in and double check to make sure that that referral I added was in the pending status. Joe Lewis pending. And so once that comes over, we'll go back and refresh this. So sometimes you have to wait a few moments for these to update. Come back in. All right, looks like we're good to go. So that's how you can test the integration. And then you can turn it off and on at any time. And from then on, you're going to have all that data in your HubSpot to do all kinds of fun stuff with, like promote your memberships campaigns in your emails, create reports, trigger workflows, which I'll show you in subsequent videos. Hello, this is Blake with Referral Rock, and today we're going to be looking at the HubSpot customers to referrals integration. And this is most often used to trigger rewards based on changes in HubSpot. So something like a contact becoming a closed deal and that sort of thing. And that would trigger the referrals reward to be earned or the member's reward to be earned. And so let's hop into it. We're going to click setup. And this one is applied to all referrals in your account. It's not program specific like the other two integrations. And so I have my test account right here. We're going to save that. And the first screen we have here is your trigger. And so you're saying what properties and objects in HubSpot do we want to listen to update the referral status in Referral Rock. And so I'm going to come over to mine. The two that I want to do today are lifecycle stage and lead status. When the lifecycle stage for my lead becomes a customer, I want that reward be earned. And then on the lead status, I want it to be denied when they're unqualified or it's bad timing. And so hopping back over, we're going to go into contact and we're going to find that life cycle stage first right here. And so when they become a customer, I want the referral status to be approved. And remember, our reward rules in Referral Rock trigger based on these referral statuses. And so whenever a referral becomes approved, any reward rules with a trigger that is approved will be earned. Next up, I'm going to go to contact and I want to go to lead status. And if somebody is unqualified, I want to deny that referral. That way the member knows that, this referral was denied. You're not going to get any rewards based on them. And then next up, I want to do another lead status because we had a few in here. Um, Bad timing, also denied. And then there's a exception box here. This isn't used very often, but let's say you had this bad timing one get selected, and so that referral was marked as denied, but then later on the timing was good. You went back in HubSpot and turned them into a customer at some point, then it could overwrite that denied status and move them to approved. All right, so those are your basic trigger settings. Next up, we're going to save this. There's going to be some matching settings. Um, these aren't used too often. For most clients, you can just keep what's in there for you. Um, Most oftentimes, we're not going to use anything. It's going to match on email. So when it looks like this, it's just going to match on email. HubSpot's going to send Referral Rock a notification that a contact was changed, and if the email of that contact matches any referral, we'll perform the sync operation. Alternatively, you can have it look at other things like referral ID or external identifier. And so sometimes these will be used. And so you'll find an ID in your HubSpot to sync out with. And you might do something like this if you're using our landing page builder. Then you would use a HubSpot ID to sync those two contacts, just a bit more accurate. But it's not super common. Usually the email matches. If you have questions about this or you're having a hard time matching contacts to their associated referrals, please contact our help team. They're very good at helping you get up this matching logic setup. And so don't bang your head against the wall here. We're happy to help you out there. Next up, I'm going to mark this as not used, so it matches on email. And then I'm going to come in here. This is also like more advanced functionality, I would say. And this is if you want to send additional information into Referral Rock from HubSpot. And so when we do match those contacts for the first time or stuff changes in HubSpot, you can make sure that associated data is also in Referral Rock. And so if you want the company name that's in HubSpot to also be in Referral Rock and to always match, you can do that. You can do the amount. You can do any notes. And then you could override properties. Like I said, people don't use this too much. Usually, what's in HubSpot is all people really care about, and they're not going to both places to look at both things. But if you do need to go to both places to see the company name and deal amounts and that sort of thing, then this is excellent for that. Moving on, lastly, another advanced function. And so sometimes, in rare cases, people do want to add referrals from HubSpot. And so they don't exist in Referral Rock. You get a contact added to HubSpot. You know they're a referral, but they're not in Referral Rock, and you want to add them. And the rare use case that's used in is where you want to use Referral Rock more as like a rewards administration system. And so you'll know if you need that if you're watching this video, and recommend working with our support team, your success manager, to help get that set up just right. It is a more advanced use case, so it is very helpful to have somebody guide you through it. All right, let's save this. All right, so now we're all set up, and let's go into HubSpot and test this thing out. And so if you've watched the other videos, we have this contact right here. Bob is a referral. We can tell because he has contact properties that say he is. He's got a member URL. We can tell he's a Referral Rock source. Let's go back to Bob. And now we want to try to update his status now that that's connected to, let's make this blank first. Let's first go to make him a customer. And so we're going to do a customer, and might need to wait a second. Now we're going to go into Bob's referral page to see if the update worked. As we can see, Bob Ludlow is approved. Go ahead and click in there, show you around. And so you can see it was set to approved on today's date. And if you ever need to do any debugging, you want to look at this a little deeper, you can come into the sales entry page, click all. This is where like the details of these are going to show up. And so we can see we had a referral update from HubSpot. And if I click view actions, you can see a little information about here. And so if for some reason you're not seeing an update come through, you can come into this log. And if nothing's there, then something's not connected right. Feel free to reach out for our support. And then if you do see stuff, there'll be statuses and sources to give you more information about what's happening. And yeah, so that's how you test it out after you set it up. That referral is updated to approved. And if there are any referral or member reward rules attached to them, And that status, then those members or referrals would earn the reward based on that referral transitioning from pending to approved.
All right, HubSpot tracking form conversions. On this video, we're going to be covering how to create the script, how to add the script, and how to test the script. As a reminder, you always want to make sure that your SDK is set up ahead of time. Otherwise, there'll be nothing for it to talk with. When we look down here, here's a basic script that you're going to modify. The next step is where do we end up modifying this? What's an easy way to make sure of this? So what you're going to do is you're going to come down here. You're going to copy all of this. A good easy tool is going to be jsvalidator.com. It's a way for everyone to see the script they're putting in as well as edit it from there. You can see here the reason why is it allows us to showcase any errors inside of this. And so when looking through here, you see we have a callback function at the top, and then below we have the more specific forms that we'll be changing. So you have ones that are pre-built here. We've got email, we've got first name, we got last name. In the event that you don't want that to be the case, you would simply just delete that field. We also have some custom text fields, some custom option fields. Custom text fields would be company size, and custom options may be select the language of choice. So these are going to be drop-down options. And you would simply just be able to delete and type in whatever form you'd like to. And then HubSpot specifically goes on the syntax of form data dot blank. Now, how do you find out for this field name 2 and this field name 3, what does that actually look like? Where do I actually find that information out? Well, you're going to hop right back over to your actual page. Now, this is an example landing page inside of HubSpot. Let's say I need to find out what does HubSpot call job title. We go to here, we right click, we click inspect. And when it brings up that, we see here, you have, if you look over here, at the top, it says name equals job title, all lowercase, no space. And so now we know that if we were to text in jobs here or job title, we would type in form data dot job title. And that would be able to give us the correct fields. And so to give you an example of what a pre-built one may look like, I'm going to copy over mine for what I'm using. So here I need, as you saw here before, I'm looking for first name, last name, email, company name, company size, job title, and preferred language. And so these custom parameters are going to be company name, company size, job title, and preferred language. And so when building out the script, these are all pretty standard in the order. Company name, and then from here, custom text, company size, form data.company _ size, and job title is just job title. I found these by inspecting my actual page to see what HubSpot labeled them as. And then language is going to be HS _ language. Now, where do we put this? If we actually go into our landing page, we click edit. We click into settings tab up here at the top. We scroll all the way down and we see advanced options. Now here you'll see my SDK. All you're going to do is simply type it beneath it. Once you paste it in there and you hit save, then from there now we have to test it. Now how do we go and test it? How would that actually work? So we're going to go inside an existing member. We've got Blake Boss as an existing member here. If you go to the right, you'll see personal referral URL. That's what you want to open up as a referral. And you'll see his code here at the top at the end of the URL. From here, we will type in a name, whatever it ends up, whatever this may be. We will type in Mike Smith, Mike Smith 88 at Gmail. Company name is Mike's Lawn. 5 people. He's the owner of it, and his preferred language is English. We hit submit. You see the thank you for submitting form, and now we are to hop back on over to our program and see if the referral actually did happen. And if you look, voila, we now have a Mike Smith listed as pending. It came from a member Blake. and it was last updated today. If at any point in time, this is what you'll test to make sure that everything has gone through, and you look at the activity inside of the referral and you can see when he was added, as well as our custom fields, which is important. We want to make sure our customer fields are here. We have the basic ones at the top, but if you look at the bottom, there we are, custom fields, company size, 5, top title, CEO, and language as English. And that is how you successfully build, add, and test your landing page inside of HubSpot.